Hi folks, Dusty here. This is section 36 of my series on keratology. This last section is going to be a little different. A personal story that I think ties everything together well. Let me share a story with you. Several years ago, my wife at the time got dismissed from her job. At first, we were upset and concerned as to how we would make ends meet. I was still working, but losing an income would surely make a big impact on our household finances. We chose to view it as an opportunity for her to grow in her career, rather than allowing it to be a devastating blow. We agreed that she should look into getting her nursing degree like she had always wanted to do. In her previous relationship, she never felt like she had the support system in place for her to take on such a huge commitment. Her being out of work, a vacuum, and now having the emotional and tangible support system in place, presented her with the opportunity she had always wanted. She could have chosen to stay home with the kids, or find some other menial job to do just to help with the bills, but she chose to move forward with her journey, and I stood by her as she worked to improve herself. I've always been proud of her for her willingness and effort to put an opportunity like that to good use. She did very well in her program, graduated in the top of her class, and she became an excellent nurse. Remember the earlier POC that everything is temporary? In that segment, we talked about not harboring feelings of resentment or negativity toward those in our past. This is a perfect example of that. In a much abridged version of how our life together went, her taking that opportunity to attend nursing school eventually led to her meeting someone new and falling in love with him. Yes, my suggestion for her to grow herself and her career eventually led to our separation and consequential divorce. But that doesn't mean that I need to lose any respect for her or wish her any ill will. Harboring negativity only weighs on yourself and prevents you from unobstructed growth. I could have chosen to focus on hurt or to be angry at the circumstances, but that's not beneficial to anyone. She is a good person, and I wish her the best in all that life has for her. Had it not been for those things occurring, I would have never met my youngest son's mother, and he would not be here to enlighten my life. It's amazing how events shape our lives, the good ones and the bad ones. I firmly believe that life is granted to us for purposes beyond our current understanding. The reason I shared that story was to show a good example that involved many of the principles we've gone over. It took a lot of patience, perseverance, and hard work to make it through that time period for both of us. In fact, while she was going through her schooling, that was when we started our hobby farm and realized how much we both enjoyed it. To my count, I came up with 18 different POCs that are relevant to that story. It is through those events, along with others, that the original Dusty Bottom Acres came to be, inspiring me to start all over again, in a new place, in a new time, a new world, and a new life, with all of the experience that I gained from the first time around. By relying on all of my carrots, this next phase of life is going to be epic. If you haven't checked out the rest of my channel, please do so. And if you'd like to see how well it goes with Dusty Bottom Acres version 2.0, I'd be honored to have you along for the ride. Thanks for joining me thus far. As always, folks, take the trip and enjoy the ride.